we could have won. Would we have deserved to win? I'm actually not sure. I think the draw is what Brighton deserves, what we deserve. With all the good things we did during the week, confidence said often enough is a little flower, and if somebody stamps on it, really difficult. So, but then we had them there, we forced it, we scored good goals, had our moments, and in the end it's just 3-3 and we have to accept it.
It's not a good feeling in football. You play with that as well, with feeling, with confidence, and this feeling and this confidence we have to build up back, to bring it back to the team, and we have to start to build up as soon as possible.
It was a very difficult match, but I'm happy for my players, for my club. We played a fantastic game for me. We had the possibility to score more, but Liverpool is always a very amazing team, no?
It's always nice if you can score, and especially 3, and it's at Anfield. It's a shame we couldn't get the 3 points, but obviously we're still happy with the point at Anfield. It's always a tough game, and it's a superb team.
Well, Brighton were fantastic, weren't they? I mean, they were brilliant this afternoon. What was a great game. But both Jurgen Klopp and Alisson there alluding to a sort of lack of confidence.
Well, before I say anything, I have to say how good Brighton were. They were magnificent, and they deserved at least a point from that game. But Liverpool looked very leggy, lethargic, tired, and if it was a one-off, you would sort of accept it, but I think it's happened a few times this season, and Trent Alexander-Arnold has had to take some criticism for his defending, and rightly so at times, because it hasn't been good enough. But others also have to take responsibility. Van Dijk, Matip, Henderson, Thiago, Mo Salah. We are so used to, over the years, looking at Liverpool and looking at the way they press, the high energy. There was none of that today, and as I said, it's happened a few times. Tsimikas had a really poor game out there. Got to get tighter, got to stop the cross. Poor header from Trent, and he gets Henderson also poor. Trent gets done again inside, and it's a very clever finish. Fantastic from Brighton, the way they moved the ball around. But Thiago, the press, I mean, that's nothing. Fabinho goes in there. Look, there's no energy there. We're used to Liverpool, you know, with the way they go after players. Van Dijk's dropping off. Needs to get tight. Matip can get tight, but look at the space Welbeck's got to take a touch, to turn, to play the pass in that he wants, trying to play the offside. Yes, fantastic from Brighton again, and Welbeck gets in between Alexander-Arnold and Matip again. No pressure on the ball from the cross. It's just too easy for Brighton. They're a good side. If you give players that amount of time, they will punish you. Poor from Van Dijk. But just look at the way March runs past 3 midfielders, the Liverpool midfielders. Not one of them stays with him. Great running off the ball, and they're fortunate again to get away with it. It should have been 4-0 down, Liverpool, after half an hour. The press, I said, from the front, that's nothing from Salah. There's no point in him even going if that's going to be his effort to close people down and stop it. Again, the free header, and again a good save from Alisson, from Welbeck. Similar thing again, look, that again from Salah. That's not acceptable. And that Liverpool shirt needs to be better. Again, Van Dijk, he's got to get tight. Too easy to take the touch and turn. And then you can see the ball comes in. Trossard gets his hat-trick. Poor from Van Dijk again, the clearance. But have a look at it from the other angle. Fabinho's got to do better to stop the ball into the front man. Van Dijk's got to do better and get tighter. And then just have a look at Diaz and Trossard. Diaz can see him. Van Dijk's pointing out there. Milner also knows that he's there. But Diaz doesn't work hard enough to get back in, and they get punished. And they deserve that, Brighton. And Trossard, what a hat-trick, by the way. Absolutely superb.
Am I allowed to say, as the amateur in all of this, though, that still the way they moved the ball and the way they moved was just brilliant.
They were magnificent at it, and Liverpool at times couldn't cope with them. But as I said, they should have been 4-0 down, Liverpool, after half an hour. But as I said, we're used to seeing over the years that press and how they work hard, and it's not happening at the minute for Liverpool.
De Zerbi could be really exciting for Brighton, couldn't he? Ian, you know, he credited Graham Potter afterwards. He says, look, he's not going to damage anything, and he's just going to add a little bit of him on top, and that could be really exciting.
Yeah, you hope he can, because we know that Brighton have been very, very well coached. But what was really quite disrespectful was experienced people on stations, radio stations, literally writing the guy off before he's even started. So I was quite pleased for him to go to go to Liverpool and play how they played. He hasn't really tinkered too much with what Potter's done. And if he carries on doing what he's doing with that Brighton side, you saw what they're capable of doing.
Right.